recording here, and then we get started. All right, so welcome everybody to this first meetup as the good citizen developer. The citizen developer is something that sit in the space of enabling business users, IT professional, to build applications without relying on heavy coding and customization. That is sort of a definition. Someone that sits on the front line of business processes and has a desire for being able to put in actions by building applications or workflow automations without necessarily coding. Hence, the growth of more and more of these low code or no code solution. Now, my name is Stefano Tempesta. I'm based in Melbourne. I'm a Microsoft Regional Director and MVP, so Microsoft most valuable professional in categories like Azure, the Azure Cloud, and AI, artificial intelligence. And I've always been passionate about enabling people to work better and also to do something useful for the society. So together with another member of the community that you can see here in the leadership team called Yaver, we decided to create this new user group, but it's different. It's not yet another user group about technology. Yes, we'll be touching about technology, but our mission is try to evangelize or to communicate, to share experiences around good citizen developers. So developers that wants to build application for good purposes. We'll try to meet monthly. I have already prepared, you can see, a schedule of different topics that we want to touch. Will be more biased towards the Microsoft technology stack, but just because that the experience that I can bring on the table. But as possible, we'll be touching also on different other technologies. Today, I want to focus on AI for good, the application of artificial intelligence to resolve big humanitarian challenges. And I have a couple of experiences to share. One very simple, building a chatbot for the visually impaired, people that cannot see. And this chatbot is able to synthesize voice and also to understand a voice command. Very simple. I will show you how that was built. And also, if there is someone out there who is a bit more technical, a little bit of source code just to get you started if you're interested to know a little bit more about this technology. And the other one is quite an innovative piece of technology using devices like HoloLens, Augmented Reality, again, for people that cannot see or have visually handicaps, and then help them to recognize the environment, recognize people, and describe this with a voice. But I want, first of all, make sure that we approach this user group really as a collaborative group, as a roundtable. So feel free to go on voice, ask questions, or share your own experiences, and also make sure that we create a community, spread the rumors around if you enjoy this evening, and make a little bit of a buzz also on socials. We are few today, and that's absolutely fine. The first meetup, but if we do something good for the society, I think we feel a bit more rewarded also as individuals, and not just professional doing a great job from a business perspective. So that's the meetup, the good citizen developers. Today focus on AI for good. Before we start, if there is anybody that just want to share some experience of why you're here, or even where are you connecting from, feel free to go on voice, share your expectations or your background. Happy to create a community. One day, hopefully, we'll be able to meet. If you are in Melbourne, we are getting out of these restrictions very soon, so we'll be able eventually to meet in person. That would be a great thing. So, anybody wants to share something before we move on?
I'll say a quick hello. My name is Consul Leonides. I work for a financial services organization, and for the last, I suppose, 12 months, been working with getting the business using low-code tools. I haven't done anything with AI specifically for low code, but certainly something that we're keen to invest in, and we've done stuff like traditional AI with Python and programming and stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be good to just bridge the gap. And yeah, I think out of what I want to get out of the group is just understand what other citizen developers are doing, and how they get onboarded and enabled with their tools and get better at using their, using the low code tools and everything to become better citizen developers.
Nice, thank you. All right, okay. So we'll get to know each other and warm up, hopefully, as we progress. So first of all, as said, we'll focus a bit more on the Microsoft technology stack just because of my experience. And as a citizen developer, Microsoft has a collection of tools called Power Platform that enables citizen developers to build with no code applications like mobile apps or web apps, report, dashboard, business processes, and also artificial intelligence. Power Virtual Agent is a tool for building chatbot completely visual with natural language understanding and the possibility to interact with other external systems. And there is then another component called AI Builder, which enables to build something a bit more sophisticated using AI without being a data scientist. So all the AI is done for you, but AI Builder makes it accessible for no coders, basically. For business users, they just have to use a browser, do a bit of drag and drop, and can build an app with AI capability. We'll cover this aspect in the course of this series of events in due time. Today, I want to focus and share some of these AI for good resources. And I'll make sure that I put this also in the chat, so you guys can have access also to these resources afterwards. So the first one is this website. This website is AI for Good mission by Microsoft. It's a program. AI for Good is actually an umbrella of different initiatives. AI for Earth, which focus on aspect of climate change. AI for Health, which is very relevant to what's going on now with COVID-19 and anything related access to health and programs. Accessibility, which is one of the focus for tonight, with a couple of examples of how to build applications with focus on accessibility. And humanitarian action, which focus on aspect of a non-profit organization to solve global challenges like supporting people in less developed countries. And then there is a cultural heritage, which is about preserving our culture, languages, monuments, and so on. For example, this one that you see here at the bottom right, this Mont Saint-Michel in France, has been completely virtualized so that you can experience traveling into this beautiful castle island without actually being there, with a mixed reality experience and a full immersion, which will help preserving also this important monument, which has been sort of challenged by thousands and thousands of tourists in the past years, and they had to introduce some restrictions. Now, for a number of reasons, obviously, there are less tourists in the last year, but still, hopefully for a better and healthier world next year, the challenge will still be there. So what if we could still experience traveling without actually traveling? There are a lot of advantages. I know it's not the same experience, but if we are after this technology enhancement, we can probably enjoy this sort of virtual experiences as well. And not to mention all the aspect of preserving cultures and languages that may go away in a more and more global world. So this is a collection of examples of what Microsoft is working, but not just Microsoft. These are customer references. So these are Microsoft partners or Microsoft customers that are really using AI technology. Microsoft has a very rich AI platform for all these humanitarian cases. And the good news is that they're actually providing some grants, so some financial support to startups typically that have some great project in this space. For example, there is an AI for Earth grant, which is, if I remember correctly, about 15 grants, $15,000 US dollars. So it's quite good money in Australian dollars for the development of some great ideas in climate change. And I think there is another one here, yes, is a AI for accessibility grant, which again, if you have a great experiences or you have a great idea and you need some support to kick off your startup idea, Microsoft is there to support you with a grant for a project that is relevant. You can apply completely by yourself. There is nothing to pay, obviously, to apply for it. You just need to show how you will use Microsoft technology and what is the purpose of it. There is a form to fill up. Feel free to go and give it a try. Why not? You may have a great idea and then be referred on the website and as a partner story. As you can see here, this is a new way of seeing, using technology for the low vision community to see the world around better. This is a partner story, okay, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Now, if you're passionate about artificial intelligence and you've never done this before, where to start from? Well, you probably want to start from discovering what AI can do from sort of a capability perspective, and then more hands-on on technology. So this other website, which is AI School, which I'm going to post in here. Okay, this will guide you towards technologies like conversational AI, typically chatbot, machine learning, autonomous system, and build your, from here, build your path to readiness in some way. So, for example, you want to be more of a data scientist, and then the next question is, what are your existing skills? I'm really a beginner. And then, what would you like to learn? What would you like to learn about computer vision? And say I want to be more on the hands-on side of it, so some labs, for example. Okay, let's see what you got as a data scientist beginner in computer vision with hands-on labs, and then it comes out with a number of exercise modules to get started with optical character recognition, image classification, and so on. So something that you can take in a few hours that you can dedicate and then learn how to use this technology. Now, if I go one step back and scroll down, there is also an AI for Good idea challenge. This is another challenge like an hackathon for trying your skills after you have learned how to build AI-driven or AI-powered applications, and then submit your idea again for an hackathon with some prizes. There is a great community here. Microsoft is offering all these services as an incentive for building up the community and making sure that you have access to resources. So this will typically run on the Azure cloud. And the good news is that you can access all of this technology completely for free. And I'm not joking. So all you have to do is go to azure.com/free. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat. And as you can see on screen, you can create an Azure account that will give you access for a full year of free services. So you can do computer vision, voice recognition, voice synthesis, machine learning, completely for free. So for example, studio.azureml.net, if I know wrong. Yes, so this is the machine learning studio environment in Azure. If you can sign up for the incredible price of $0 per month and get 10 gigabytes of storage for services, including the possibility to write in R or Python and publish predictive web services completely hosted in a cloud with no coding at all. There is zero coding. You can do R or Python, but it's not necessary. Machine Learning Studio is a visual tool for doing machine learning without coding. You have the possibility for adding some script, but it's not necessary. And this is a free access that never expires. Obviously, if you want to scale the service, you pay $10 a month and you have a full SLA support. But that if you go business-wise, if you go professional. So all these services are completely free to access for you, and you can build very powerful AI power applications, and then compete for this hackathon, for this challenge here that you can access from the AI for School website, or even be paid. You're not really paid. You access a grant that will give you some resources to build your idea, your application. Okay, so think about it. If you think of a startup idea, there are a lot of good ideas in here, and the possibility to access these resources. Now, I don't work for Microsoft, so I'm not here to sell anything. My role is more on the community side to promote the adoption of good technology, but I have no interest in selling anything here. So I'm just trying to share my experiences because I use these services a lot. Now, if you're not that technical, so if your background is not technical AI school probably is not that for you, because the AI school is something that provides access to labs and content training from a technical perspective. If you're after something a bit softer or more business oriented, there is an AI business school. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the chat again. Oops. Excuse me. And there is a question. Do you have an insight what sort of project people are doing with MS Grant? I do. So this one here is the project that I'm going to show you in a moment, using HoloLens for describing the world to people that cannot see with visually impairment. So I'm going to show you that in a moment. This other one is another startup in Brisbane that I've been advising for some time for capturing emission of CO2, carbon dioxide in the soil, and using something very complicated, some neural gamma something. Let me find out, because it's quite fascinating actually. Is called neutron gamma analysis for soil carbon mapping. Something that basically does a map, or scanning of a map. Let me see if I can find the document here. Here we go. So scanning mode application for neutron gamma analysis. Then they do a map of the analysis. So they build these sort of things, which is pulled by the attractor and contains an elastic neutron scattering system, whatever that means, towed by a golf cart for the measurement of soil carbon content. And then at the end, they produce something like, where is it? There was a nice picture, maybe not in here. 1 second, I have a picture with a scanned map. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, basically, they identify the presence of carbon dioxide in the territory, in the soil, tokenize these. So there is also a business opportunity of sort of a token exchange. But the purpose is that they want to educate farmers to better agricultural procedures to preserve the emission of CO2 in the atmosphere. Because you may not know that, and I didn't know until I learned about it, that soil is extremely rich of carbon dioxide. When you plow the soil with advanced and invasive procedures, too much soil is open, and carbon dioxide is emitted in the atmosphere more than what it should be, and what is the opposite of empowering? So making the soil less rich of CO2 that is actually necessary for growing crops, for harvesting. So in this way, instead, by developing more sustainable agricultural technologies procedures, is possible to protect the environment and obtain richer crops at the end. So quite innovative technology. I sort of loved advising them on the best use of AI technology. Now, there are a few other projects. I'm not exposed to all of them, but if you are considering apply for a grant, as long as it is relevant to this category, so this is AI for Earth, so typically environmental challenges, and the other one is AI for accessibility, so something that will help people with accessibility challenges to enjoy the world in a better way, then you will be considered for the grant. Okay, so I was saying if you're not a technical person, the AI school may not be for you, because this is technical content to get started with AI technology in Azure. So you may want to go to the AI business school. This contains some, again, learning path, how technology, AI technology, is used in different industries: financial, healthcare, retail, manufacturing, government, education. And there are so many videos, references from EVP president, from a corporate vice president, from financial officers. There are a lot of references from the Microsoft president, Brad Smith, that you can just learn what Microsoft and Microsoft partners are doing, and get some ideas there from a business perspective. And again, connect also with Microsoft and have access to this great content and great technology. Okay, so if you want me to get some introduction, I'm also I have my connection with Microsoft, so I'm going to put my email address in here. Okay, so in this way, if you're running a startup and you need some support from Microsoft to get you started with technology, or with access to any kind of resources, more than happy to do an introduction. Okay, so this is the AI Business School. Now, you may think, sure, Microsoft wants to sell technology, wants to sell Azure services. Of course they do. That's their business. But at the same time, Microsoft is after a responsible use of AI. So whenever you build any AI solution, you will be challenged to comply with 6 principles of responsible use of artificial intelligence. So Microsoft is committed to build AI applications that respect these 6 ethical principles, which are the ones that you see on screen now: fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, accountability. Now, whatever system you're building, this system, powered by AI technology, should be compliant to these principles. I'll give you an example, which is a challenge of AI nowadays. AI works on the basis of learning from a data set that contains some type of data, images, text, learning, so training a model, so it can be used as a reference, and then use that trained model for scoring, so for predicting some new capabilities, or for identifying patterns in data, for identifying similar images, for identifying or for generating voice or other output. So this is how can it generate this, or how can it recognize images, text, and so on? It's based on teaching the machine how similar data is constructed. Now, the challenge is in data, because data can be biased by whoever creates these systems. For example, I used to work on a project for recognition of skin conditions. Now, if you have some acne or some wrinkles or crown's feet, and the output was recognize your skin condition and recommend some lifestyle enhancement or some product to apply to make your skin better. So the challenge that we had is that we train our model using datasets that were very biased. So datasets that were sort of limited by gender, by cultural background, skin type, and so on. So when someone else from a different cultural background was using our system, which we didn't classify enough, the results were very poor, because you understand that if someone that is has a whiter skin makes a skin analysis, and then someone that has a darker skin makes the same skin analysis, the results are quite different, because the model has not been trained to differentiate between these two skin types, or age, or gender, and so on. All these limits are called bias. Your model is biased towards one category or the other one. So you want to try to build models that are as fair as possible. So this is the fairness principle, so that you can prevent situations where one gender or one cultural background is favored over another one. Another example is insurance premiums. Typically, more and more insurances, banks, and whatever, they use machine learning to identify potential risk in the people that they are lending money or opening an insurance policy. So they base this on data that's been collected in the past. So if typically people with this background, with this income in the place where they live, have this number of car accidents, number of claims, then it's more likely than someone else coming from that similar context will make more claims, so I increase the premium. Now, the result is that you have a biased model, because it doesn't take into account other conditions that may be in favor. For example, a typical one is a gender. Now, I'm going to make a joke here, no one gets offended, but for years and years, insurance companies have considered women more dangerous than men to drive, which is a total myth. And the premium for women applying for an insurance, for a car insurance, was higher than a man, which again is a total myth, total unfair. But this is because whatever system they used was biased towards gender, rather than other aspect of, for example, looking into the actual driving history and so on. So this is what fairness is about. You appreciate what reliability and safety is, so I know that you want your system not to compromise and to create unsafe situation. Privacy, you don't want your private data to be leaked. Inclusiveness is another important one. So you want to create systems that can be accessed by as many people as possible. If you create a chatbot that cannot be used by people that cannot type on a keyboard, then you're not being inclusive. You should provide an alternative way of consuming your service by people that have different impairness or different abilities. No, transparency. You want to make sure that that whoever is using the system, your system, understand what's happening behind. For example, the application for a loan, if there is an AI algorithm that is assessing the risk of the applicant, it should be transparent how this is being communicated. And this is not. Most of the times, you've been denied a loan, a credit card, without understanding why. And so being transparent, tell me why I'm not meeting these requirements. And the accountability is about people. So whoever builds this system should be accountable for the output of it. So we can't just say blame AI for what happens. Well, there are people. AI is a machine with a software that has been coded, has been written by people. So when something happens unethical, then the responsibility is not the machine. You can't put the machine in prison. You cannot fine a machine. there are people behind, people must be accountable for that. Okay, so these are the 6 principles. And excuse me. And if you're building systems, then you may want to consider these principles, because if you decide to go for a grant or get support from Microsoft, they will question you. They will say, how does your system meet these 6 principles of AI? Okay, just keep this in mind. Now, one thing that I don't know if it's really relevant to mention, but I'll mention it. If you go to the website Microsoft.com, come on, Microsoft.com, spelling /learn. Okay, today is not the day for spelling. Okay, so I'm gonna put in here in the chat as well. Okay, you have access to a lot of content that is completely free to use. And not just about AI, there is a lot of products here, Azure, Dynamics, .NET, but there is something also for the data engineer, the data scientist, okay? So for example, there are a lot of training courses, completely free, create no-code predictive models, build AI solution with machine learning, foundation of data scientists. This actually is quite a good one because it's done in collaboration with the University of California. Okay, so this is quite a long one. It's about 12 hours, more than 12 hours of online training, completely for free, produced in partnership with the University of Berkeley. And Microsoft also provides certification. So you can certify yourself as a data scientist, which typically consists in taking an exam, and where you're measured for some skills on what is artificial intelligence, how you use it, not extremely technical, but enough to get you qualified and certified as a data scientist. And there are a lot of other certifications. So you start from Microsoft.com/learn. If you're interested to explore more about certification, again, ping me and I can drive you into the right direction. But I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is more a commercial application. You have to pay for certification. So I have no interest in doing that. I'm here only to promote free services. Okay, one more thing. Let's get into the show, okay? I want to show you something here. I want to show you some great use of technology. The first one is called virtual eye vision. And this is something that I've been working for some time. And I ask you to pay attention for a minute to the next video. It's from the University of Caltech, which you may know from the Big Bang Theory. Yes, indeed, that's the university where Sheldon Cooper works, okay? Or used to work.
All the technology of virtual reality and augmented reality is about acquiring the information about what's out there in the scene and then converting it to other uses. All these things are coming together largely as a result of consumer technology, not because someone wanted to build a device for the blind. And we're just riding that wave and combining these different devices and concepts to make a new thing that never existed before.
The HoloLens creates a 3D mesh of the physical space to overlay virtual information on top of physical space. What we did is to try to take advantage of that, but overlay sound or auditory objects on top of physical scenes.
Imagine you are in a world where all the objects around you have voices. When you first walk into a new space, you can simply have the objects call themselves out one at a time from left to right.
Floor lamp, laptop, picture,
And then you can switch to spotlight mode, for example, and point your head towards different objects in the scene. They get activated and speak their names to you. It tries to communicate the visual world at the cognitive level, at the level of language, at the level of understanding.
Navigation started. Follow me. Follow me.
Essentially, we invented this virtual guide. It always stays a few steps ahead of the user. It calls out, follow me, up 2 flights of stairs, around a few corners, a long stretch of corridor, and then a final turn into my office.
That was pretty cool.
We have 7 blind subjects, and they all managed to do the test to my second floor office the first trial.
It was very gratifying to see that a blind person could come to the lab, put on our device, and make their way through the building without further assistance. The sky's the limit for what kind of functionalities you want to build into a device like that, because it's essentially a software problem. We'd like to see this device used and offered at the entrance of large spaces, more or less the way you would adopt an audio guide when you walk into a museum. Right? You plug the headphones in and off you go.
All right. Well, this is quite fascinating, isn't it? Is really using artificial intelligence or computer vision, voice recognition, voice synthesis, augmented reality, a device like HoloLens, which is a little computer, is an untethered holographic computer. It runs on its own. You don't need to connect even to the internet. It's completely independent. Has cameras, speakers, sensors for tracking movement. It's actually a computer with a CPU, RAM, storage. It runs on Windows holographic operating system with some applications optimized for the device itself. It's quite heavy though, more than half a kilo, and the batteries doesn't last too long, 2 hours. So it's not great for long usage outdoor, but for short experiences, you can build this sort of application. And I built something that is super easy to run. You install the app inside HoloLens itself, but before that, you want to build your model for recognizing a different object and for voice synthesis, voice commands, hand gesture, eye tracking, and then put everything together into the app itself. It works using Azure Cognitive Services. This is another good one. So if I go back to the browser here, so what you want to do is search for Azure Cognitive Services, and you end up here, okay? This website, which I'm going to put again in the chat. All right, these cognitive services give you a lot of AI capabilities without being a data scientist. So they've already been pre-trained for you and are exposed as a REST API. So an application programming interface, a web service, completely hosted in the cloud, no infrastructure to provision. All you have to do is connect to the service. You can do it with Power Automate. You can do it with Power Apps. You can do it with Power Virtual Agent. You can do it also with any programming language, JavaScript, Java, C#, Python, any programming language can do that. You can do language, speech, vision, and a lot of things. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few vision, and specifically face detection and identification. The face API identify or detect a face and returns an object. This is the description of an object in JSON format with the coordinates of the face, the color of the skin, hair, some trait of the face, even if the person is smiling or not, and also the emotion. It can tell you whether the face of a person is upset or happy or not. Actually, I can show you something very quickly now. So I have a solution, just a quick demo, just in the interest of showing something very quickly, and which is completely built with Azure Cognitive Services, and you can do it really in a couple of hours or something like that. Is opening in my system. So give me a second. Now this will open in the browser. Hopefully quickly. Here we go. And I have a lot of services here. So this is a demo application that I built. So what I can do is, as soon as it comes up on screen, go into the face detection. I have a quick demo here. And I see I have preloaded some pictures of some celebrities in here. And what it does, if you click on this image, it calls the API and does some face detection. Face has been recognized, and then you have gender, age, smile, and even emotions, okay? And then you can do the same also, detect multiple faces in a picture. So there are 2 faces here. Face number 1, male, age, smile, and so on. Face number 2, and so on. And you can upload your own image and even take a photo in real time. So I need to switch off the camera, otherwise it goes in conflict, and take a photo here. Here we go, that's me. So let me smile. Actually, let's do an upset face. Okay, whatever that is. Confirm. And then do the analysis. Here we go. Face recognized. So let me go back on video. Face recognized, gender, age. Okay, quite all right. And detected that I have some reading glasses and I'm angry. So you see, I'm quite upset. So it works, right? It's pretty cool. And the source code for these things in Visual Studio, which is completely open source, face recognition, is incredibly easy. So what you have to do is call an API that you need to provision in Azure completely for free, nothing to pay, and then call this method, which is detect with URL. You pass the image in input, and then it recognizes a few landmarks, attributes of the face, and return some attributes that I display on screen. This API does also matching. So if you upload an image, it can also recognize who that person is. Let me show you that in action one more time. So basically, we need to do something like that. We need to go back here, okay, and upload a picture, which actually I'm gonna do in this way. Rather than uploading a picture, I'm taking from here. So let's search for Prince Harry, okay? Prince Harry is here. I'll take an image and I put, let me see, here we go. All right, so take a photo. All right, so look at this guy. Okay, let me put it here and take the photo. Boom. All right, okay, it's a bit blurred, but hopefully it works okay. Confirm. Then this is calling the API, and here we go. Recognize here. Now, I can find a match. Obviously, it has to find a match in a dictionary, in a catalog of images that I have preloaded. So I have preloaded these 3 pictures with 4 people in it. So now if I find match, it will recognize where this face is in these pictures here. So in my catalog of pictures, okay? Let's see if it works, because it's a bit blurred. Find a match. Boom, here it is, image selected. It found Prince Harry in this picture here. You can start also from something else. You can start from a picture, and then it will recognize the same. Okay. Oops. Okay. Never mind. You get the idea. So this is how it works. Is super simple technology to use, but there is a lot in the background that Microsoft has done to prepare this technology. Okay. Face detection. The other one is a speech. Speech can do speech to text, text to speech, translation in real time. So I can speak in Italian and then it will translate in English in real time. Fascinating. And speaker recognition. So it can even recognize my voice and say, Stefano has been recognized. Obviously, I need to preload sample of voices. Let me show you the speak synthesis. So I'm going to go into this chatbot, which is opening on screen in a moment. Here we go. All right, so this is a chatbot. It's introducing itself. I'm Clancy, a virtual agent. All right, so if I click this icon here.
Hi, I'm Clancy, a virtual agent. I can help you with questions about your study and more. So, what can I help you with today? Please choose one of the following options. Participate in research. Find a researcher. Find an expert.
At this point, I can press the button. This is one of the feature of a bot. Give me some fixed options so that I can choose one. I can just type the message and will recognize language, so natural language understanding, and then it goes into one specific action depending on the understanding of the language, or you can even recognize voice. Participate in research. You see, perfect recognition despite the accent, right? So it's quite accurate. There is over 95 precision, over 95% of accuracy in detecting language in different accent. So you can also tune it, and you can say you have a bit of is more American English, more British English, more Australian English. There are different flavors. Also Spanish is a different flavors as well, whether it's continental Spanish from Spain or from South Latin America, Portuguese, and so on. So there are quite good variety that you can choose. And the other thing that I can show you very quickly here is also the ability to choose, not me, but some models that I have. I have some stock images, and it identify also people and describe them. So I pick this gentleman here, upload, and it can do image recognition. And you can see it has identified Barack Obama smiling in front of a flag. This is all coming in real time from the API. I can choose another one here. I can choose a car. I can take this yellow car here and will detect that this is actually a Volkswagen, a yellow car parked on a road. You see, so using this technology, I can describe the world around me. Okay, so this is quite fascinating. So this is speech API NuGet. Okay, a few slides in here. To get started, no, not this. Sorry, there is another little video, but I want to show you here. Here we go. So to get started, a lot of resources for cognitive services. I already shared the URL, face recognition, text-to-speech, HoloLens, and so on. Okay, so quite fascinating. Now, before we close, I want to show you something that I'm quite passionate about. It's a great use of AI technology for, again, the blind people, and which you can see in the video that was starting before. So go back one slide, and hopefully we can enjoy this little contribution.
I'm Saqib Sheikh. I lost my sight when I was 7, and shortly after that I went to a school for the blind, and that's where I was introduced to talking computers, and that really opened up a whole new world of opportunities. I joined Microsoft 10 years ago as a software engineer. I love making things which improve people's lives. And one of the things I've always dreamt of since I was at university was this idea of something that could tell you at any moment what's going on around you.
I think it's a man jumping in the air doing a trick on a skateboard.
I teamed up with like-minded engineers to make an app which lets you know who and what is around you. It's based on top of the Microsoft Intelligence APIs, which makes it so much easier to make this kind of thing. The app runs on smartphones, but also on the Pivot Head smart glasses. When you're talking to a bigger group, sometimes you can talk and there's no response, and you think, is everyone listening really well, or are they half asleep? And you never know.
I see two faces, 40-year-old man with a beard looking surprised, 20-year-old woman looking happy.
The app can describe the general age and gender of the people around me and what their emotions are, which is incredible. One of the things that's most useful about the app is the ability to read out text.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's your menu.
Great, thank you. I can use the app on my phone to take a picture of the menu, and it's going to guide me on how to take that correct photo,
Move camera to the bottom right and away from the document.
and then it'll recognize the text. Read me the headings.
I see appetizers, salads, paninis, pizzas, pastas.
Years ago, this was science fiction. I never thought it would be something that you could actually do, but artificial intelligence is improving at an ever faster rate, and I'm really excited to see where we can take this. As engineers, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants, building on top of what went before. And in this case, we've taken years of research from Microsoft Research to pull this off.
I think it's a young girl throwing an orange frisbee in the park.
For me, it's about taking that far-off dream and building it one step at a time. I think this is just the beginning.
Well, quite fascinating, isn't it? I just love it. It's something that no, I can't stop watching. Really a great use of technology to make this life a little bit better. All right. Thanks for being with me today. Hope you enjoyed. Next month, before the Christmas New Year break, we're going to talk about smart cities, again with a good hat on it. So how to create sustainable, greener, and more inclusive smart cities. If you enjoyed, I hope you'll see you around next time. Any last thought before closing for today? Any last contribution? Any quick comment or question?
Hi, Stefano. Can I please say something?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate. Thank you so much. That was really lovely. Really like the videos, the demos which you showed. 2 questions I have, Stefano. I know about some community projects. One of them with relevant to AI within Microsoft is about chatbots framework.
Yeah.
Are there any other community projects where like community can get involved and start contributing or polish their skills?
Yeah, this is a good point. There are several communities, and a lot depends also on the region where you are. Considering Australia as we are in the virtual world, so you can really access anywhere at this point. But considering Australia, I would suggest to get in touch with a few of the Microsoft MVPs that are looking after these activities. So I can give you a website. So you go to this website here, mvp.microsoft.com, and then search for where are this? Find an MVP. Okay, find an MVP, and then select the region, which obviously is here, and then even the category, artificial intelligence, and you will find a bunch of people, including myself. Oh, my picture is not coming. Oh, why? Why not? Here we go. That is active in the AI community. So all of us can help you on finding the right community. Microsoft in general, at a global level, is a Power Platform. Now I don't remember the URL. I need to find out. I'll publish on LinkedIn, which is a Power Platform community, sort of sharing experiences and projects for good. So apps, flows, chatbot. And I remember one that was used at the beginning of this COVID-19 situation back in February, March, to help people transitioning into working from home. Now, I don't know if I'm lucky to find it very easily. Power Platform COVID-19. Let me give it a try. But yes, there was... yeah, it could be this one, crisis communication. There it is. Okay, so this is a power app for helping people in a situation of crisis or anything where they need some support. It is completely free, and you can contribute. It's open source, so you can just help the community use technology for helping others. Okay, so just join the community, and there are a lot of ideas, a lot of projects in there. So I share the link in the chat. Feel free to join this and enjoy Power Up. We didn't talk about Power Up today. It will definitely be a topic for one of the next events. Any other question before we close? All right then. So thank you very much for sharing your precious time today, and hope to see you next time.
Thanks, Stefano. Good job.
Thanks, Stefano.